Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is all about why you haven't gotten your first job in medical coding yet. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue, I'm a medical coder. Alright guys, I get emails, comments all the time. Blue, my credential's not working for me, I can't get a job, I've been looking everywhere, I've been applying all these places, I've put out hundreds of resumes, and no one is calling me back. I'm tired of looking and I want to give up. Okay guys, here's the thing. Now, I hope that you will heed my advice in this video because I'm only here to help you guys out. Now, if you listen all the way through, there may be something that you can pick up that will help you. But if you're going to be stubborn, I'm going to put this out here first. If you're going to be stubborn and not want to listen and you have your idea of how things should go and you haven't been in this field yet, you're already putting up too many walls so that nobody can help you. All right. So put the walls down and try to think of a different approach. Okay. I'm going to give you guys a different approach and I'm going to tell you why you have not gotten a job yet. Number one, you're not applying at enough places. I actually heard from somebody who said, well, Blue, I've applied at 3 or 4 places and no one's calling me back. You've only applied at 3 to 4 places and you expect somebody to call you? No. You need to be applying at more than 3 to 4 places. You need to be applying at 20 and 30 different places. Blue, I've already done that. I've applied at 30, 40, 50, 100 places and no one's calling me. Okay, now, what does your resume look like? Now, I always go back to that and people get frustrated with me. The thing is, I'm asking you what your resume looks like because this is the first thing that an employer is going to see about you. Right? They're going to see that this is the resume for this person. Okay, if this resume is not well put together, you're not getting a call. You're not even going to get a second look. Next, the thing that I hate to see, and it irritates me to no end. This is so irritating. They don't have anything on there. No direction. No objective. There is no objective. I've seen these because I've seen a ton of these on LinkedIn. No objective, and then they say that they are trained in ICD-10. ICD-10 what? ICD-10 CM or ICD-10 PCS, or was it both? Because even though you may have an outpatient credential, which is like the CCSP or even the CCSP, you still could have been trained in inpatient coding with your program, your medical coding program, right? And so when you're putting down your list of skills, maybe you just took this outpatient credential, one of those, and you're putting on your resume, you learned ICD-10. Congratulations, but which one? So again, it's those details that matter. And having an objective is on your resume, first thing out, is really going to set the pace for the rest of your resume. Because if you're sitting there saying, oh, I want to work in a place where I can build my skills, congratulations, but what the heck are you looking for? Are you looking for an outpatient position? Are you looking for an inpatient position? Inpatient meaning PCS, okay? If you're talking about pro-fee, then you need to specifically state pro-fee. But usually, like on the job listings, they'll tell you like what the title is. And so that's what needs to be in your resume. You need to update it every single time. Well, Blue, I have to update my resume every single time. Do you want to get a job? This is what you have to do, okay? I'm letting you know what you have to do because there's a lot of these other places that are not telling you what you need to do, like these schools. And another thing that I see from these schools too, oh yeah, my school helped me with my resume. And again, I'm looking at this resume like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? Because again, they're saying ICD-10. ICD-10 what? And then they're saying, that they want to, they learn NCDs, LCDs, and they learn MCCs and all this other stuff, and these edits and things like that. Again, no direction. Where are you going? You're just like randomly throwing stuff on this resume. If you are wanting to go outpatient, then you need to talk outpatient. If you want to go inpatient, you need to talk inpatient. Inpatient being the DRGs, MSDRGs, MCCs, CCs. That's all of that language. You need to make sure that those things are on there so that it can catch the employer's attention. Okay, this is somebody that knows what's going on. If you are looking on the outpatient setting, CPT 4, because that's the 4th edition, that's what we're in right now, and that's what a lot of employers have in their job listings. candidate must know CPT, or they'll say CPT 4. It just means 4th edition. It's the same thing, guys. So make sure that's on there. ICD-10-CM, right? And over here on the inpatient side, ICD-10-PCS, if that's what you know, okay? And then HCPCS level 2. So there's all of these things that need to be there. And when you're talking about your skills and you're talking about all these things, if your skills say that you're organized and you're a team player on your skills list, wrong, because those are soft skills. Those are not your hard skills. When it comes to your hard skills, it needs to be diagnosis, the ICD-10-CM, the CPT, the HCPCS, and then all of those, medical terminology and anatomy. You know, a lot of people look at me funny, Blue, why do I need to have medical terminology and anatomy on my skills list? When you look at these job listings, it's asking, candidate must have medical terminology, anatomy, and physiology, pathophysiology. You must know these things. So that's why it needs to be on your skills list, because you were trained in your program. You can put it there. It's not lying, okay? It's not lying when you've been trained in it, okay? That's your skill now. Do you speak more than one language? Do you speak English and perhaps you speak Spanish? Then you need to put them on there both, that you're bilingual. Well, Blue, what does that have to do with getting a job? You never know what place that you're applying for and what population are they serving. Because sometimes people come in and they don't necessarily only speak English. Sometimes they speak Spanish, or sometimes they speak Japanese or Chinese or German or French or something like that. And if you are bilingual and somebody at the employment, in the employment office is looking at this, oh, okay, well, we know that if we have this person, you know, this could be a very valuable person for us to have on our team. It's about your skill, and you never know if that skill is going to set you apart from the next candidate. Because these employers have a lot of resumes to go through. So you have to get to the point and be quick and to the point in these resumes. And if you're not, again, this is a lot of times why you're not getting a call back. And I've seen, because I do resume rewrites, my rates are in the description box below. I have seen the turnaround from what I get from my clients, and then when I give them their new revised resume, then they're like, well, Blue, I'm getting a lot more calls back now. Because it's the way, it's like a coder speaking to another coder. And that's what these employers are looking for, is a coder that's speaking to another coder. And yes, while no employer wants to have to train a new medical coder, because let's just be honest, they are lazy and they want to get to the point, because a lot of employers will feel like, why should I have to pay somebody all this money and they've never been trained, or they went through a really fast-paced school and they got lucky enough to pass a certification exam and now I have to train them? You know, so that's the thing that we have to, as new medical coders, that we're all up against, right? And so that's the thing that I want you all to think about when you're applying at these places. And if you tell me, well, Blue, I'm just not a good writer, again, you need to stop thinking that, because everybody is a good writer. Everybody is. You have the potential, okay? Do not copy what you see on these medical coding resume examples that you see out there, because again, a lot of them I see are not very good. If I was seeing that, I would be like, I'm not, this is next person, because it sounds just like everybody else's, okay? So again, you have to look at your transferable skills, all the things that you've done before, and you have to take a chance on not just applying at places that are saying entry level. A lot of people are looking for those entry level medical coding positions, when in actuality, you should be applying for even positions that are asking for 3 to 5 years experience, because I have. And when I had my CCA, I did that and I got hired 3 different times. So I want you guys to be aware of that when you're trying to foo-foo my advice. Don't foo-foo my advice, guys. I'm just trying to help you out, okay? So again, when you're looking at these job listings, if it's saying we are looking for an outpatient medical coder, coder must have 3 to 5 years experience. It says required. Sometimes they'll say required, sometimes they'll say preferred. Preferred does not mean required. Now, even when they're saying required, still go ahead and apply anyway, and make sure that your resume looks good. Again, if you have to invest money to having it redone, make sure that, and this is not a plug for my service, but I'm just saying, because you don't have to go through me, it's fine. But what I am saying is make sure that the person is an actual medical coder who knows what they're talking about. Because a lot of times these professional resume writers will look at like a template and then just like copy that template and put it in there. And it's just like, really? So you have to know what you're getting into. I do have feedback on my LinkedIn. I have posted many times when people are very happy with my resume writing service in the community tab. So you are more than welcome to check that out. I've done resume tip videos for brand new medical coders all the time. So you can check those out. And I'm very upfront about those things. But again, it's your own personal choice. Do not make your resume more than 2 pages. I have seen people come to me with 3 to 4 pages. I've seen resumes on LinkedIn with 4 and 5 pages. Guys, come on. And they don't need to know about what you did more than 15 years ago, right? So if you have things on there from 1995, it needs to get off of there. If it's on there from 2000, it needs to get off of there, okay? So only go back work-wise 10 to 15 years. If you have, well, Blue, I've been a stay-at-home mom for 20 years and, you know, I'm trying to get back into the workforce. Last time I worked was over 20 years ago. Okay, well, you were still working even though you were being a stay-at-home mom, right? Because stay-at-home moms or even stay-at-home dads, they have to run the household. They have to do the grocery shopping. So now you're handling money, you're handling cash, you're balancing the checkbook, you're doing all of those things, you're managing schedules. So these are all transferable skills when you are trying to get into medical coding or even medical billing, right? Medical billing, because you're handling cash. Again, nothing that you have done is like, oh, it's so dismissive. There are things that can be transferred. Okay, so just keep that in mind and don't lose hope just because you haven't been working in a while. You can, but you have to know how to market yourself, and that is all part of it. And I'm telling you now what to do. So instead of, you know, just saying, well, I don't have any skills, I don't have any experience, it doesn't matter. You have training. You have training. And so again, being out there and being in, you know, the job market where you're looking, you need to be able to sell your skills and tell the people, this is what I know. This is what I can do, because they don't know you. And they're going to see that you don't know what you're talking about if you have a really bad resume, okay? Try not to repeat yourself on your resume either. I've seen that where, you know, people try to do their objective. Sometimes they say professional summary. Again, if you have not been a medical coder yet, you cannot put professional summary. Professional summary is for somebody like me, who I've been in the field for 14 years, right? And I would say, okay, this is my professional summary. And I would go into all the things that I have done and just a really quick, you know, snapshot of what I've done compared to like all my experience. So that would be for somebody like me because I have experience. But for somebody that's brand new, it needs to be an objective. What is your objective? Because you've never done this before. So what is your professional objective? I'm just saying. Apply it more than one place. Keep applying. And even if they reject you, go ahead and apply anyway. Again, when they reject you, because something about being persistent is what is going to get you in the door, okay? And sometimes people don't always start in medical coding. They sometimes go through medical billing. Sometimes they go through prior authorizations. Sometimes they go through the medical records department, or even release of information. So release of information is, it involves HIPAA. And a lot of times you don't even need experience to work in release of information either, because again, that is something that they can train you on. But if you're coming in there with your medical coding certification, you have training in HIPAA. Again, a skill you can put on your skills list and say, okay, well, I've been trained in HIPAA. Well, there you go. We all learn about HIPAA, and then we're tested about it on our certification exams. So guys, I want you to be persistent. And even if you're being told no, you're being told no. But again, if you're being rejected constantly, look at what you are presenting. If your resume is not up to par, you need to have it redone. Either you need to do it or you need to pay a professional to do it. Again, My rates are in the description box below. You don't have to pick me, but you do need to know that there are options out there in order for you to get that attention. Okay, and a good cover letter goes a long way. The cover letter is supposed to be the draw to tell people, okay, this is what I have to offer. And for those of you who say, well, I have a CPCA, or even my CCA folks, oh, well, no one wants to hire me because I have a CCA or because I have a CPCA. Guys, that has nothing to do with it. It is how you are presenting yourself on the resume, and even when you go in for an interview. Sometimes they will say, well, Blue, I was interviewed and I wore jeans. Don't wear jeans, guys. If you have to go into a place, don't wear jeans. And if you are being virtually interviewed, then you need to make sure that you have a clean background, like there's no chaos going on in the back, there's no kids screaming, there's no cat in the way or anything, no fur babies barking, because when you are in this meeting, they are looking at everything, okay? Because they have to know that they're hiring a good candidate. Well, Blue, I only want to work remote. Sometimes that is possible. Right now, we are in this weird limbo of COVID, no COVID, post-COVID, COVID, no COVID, post-COVID. That's all I can say that it is, right? So some people are still working at home. Others need to work in the facility for a couple of weeks and then for training, and then they go home. So it really all depends on the employer. But if you're only looking for 100% strictly remote, before the pandemic kicked off, it was absolutely a must that you had 3 to 5 years of experience working before they would allow you to go home. Now, some places are going back to that, I've noticed in the job listings, and others, they're like, okay, well, we're doing a hybrid schedule. So again, if you're putting up a lot of demands like that, like, oh, that you only want to work at home, again, it may take you a little bit more time. But don't look down on these places that are, you know, like the temp agencies and starting out with them. Because, again, their job is to get you a job. And what better person than somebody who is going to actively advocate for you to get work? And even if it's not in medical coding, maybe it's just in medical records, or maybe it's in release of information, or maybe it is in a medical billing position. It's going to get you in the door somewhere. You know, one lady commented and said, wow, I didn't think about the temp agency. She goes, for giggles, I Googled temp agency, and there was a temp agency that specifically asked for CCAs and RHITs. She goes, so I'm going to go ahead and apply. Great. I'm glad you took a chance, you know, on getting out there and trying to Google those things and getting out there like I've been saying. So guys, I mean, like I said, I'm only trying to help you all out. You know, if you want to do it, great. But getting frustrated and blaming your credential for not being able to get in or that you have no experience is not going to do anything but make you more upset and discourage you even more. And then if you listen to these other people out here saying, oh, well, you need to do this and you need to do that, you need to get this other credential, all you need is one credential. And I'm going to harp on this for the next few weeks because I keep seeing it. People saying, oh, you need this credential and that credential and this credential and that credential. And by the time you know it, you got 5 or 6 other credentials and no job to show for it. Why do you have no job to show for it? Because you need experience when you're trying to get additional credentials. And if those additional credentials are literally repeating what you have learned in your original credential, then again, that's the money that you're putting out. It's money going out. All you need is one. If you look in these job listings, all they're asking you for is one credential. Stop trying to get additional credentials that you don't even need. Start with one. That's all you need. So again, guys, be persistent and don't take no for an answer. As far as like, okay, if they reject you the first time, that's fine. They put the job listing open again, go ahead and apply again. If they're asking for experience, that's okay. Go ahead and apply. But make sure that it's for a coding position and not like an auditor or something like that. Some high-level position, CDI or anything like that. Because, again, if you have no experience, then you have no business applying for those positions anyway. But just make sure that you are being persistent. And if you are not working or you are perhaps still working in the job that you're trying to get away from, that is the best motivator because that is what I did. When I was in that position of looking for a job, I looked for 2 months before I went to the temp agency. And trust me, I was still working at the bar. I was still working at the halfway house. I was still cleaning houses. I was still doing all of those things, still trying to keep my head above water. It doesn't mean just because you can't find a job in medical coding that you can't work. You can work. Okay, guys. Well, I want to stay at home with my family. Okay, guys, but that's going to come with time. Sometimes you have to do the things that you don't want to do, all right? It's not going to be all about what you want. And that's the thing that I wish I could stress to you guys the most. It's this instant gratification world that we live in, that everybody wants everything right now. No one wants to put in the hard work. No one wants to put in the time to earn it. You have to earn things, guys, and especially in this field. No one is going to hand you anything. So this defeatist attitude needs to stop, because I get these emails all the time. Well, it's just because of my credential, and it's just because of... No, it's not, has nothing to do with that. It's your attitude. It is your attitude and the way that you're presenting yourself. So again, I'm telling you because I actually do care. Get a good resume, get a good attitude. When you go in for interview, make sure that you are well-dressed, businesslike, because there's nothing worse than hearing somebody who says, oh, I went in and, it's going to be a remote position anyway. So, however I dress, whatever. No, it's not however you dress, whatever. It is literally that you're taking it seriously. Are you taking it seriously? Because that's how these employers are going to look. Are you taking this seriously or not? Take it seriously, guys. That's just my advice anyway. So keep applying. Keep getting out there, network with other people, get on LinkedIn, see if there are any job fairs out there. Don't get on LinkedIn to complain, because no one cares and everybody's looking. Trust me. They're saying, oh, okay, well, this person is just a complainer. So again, guys, don't complain that you haven't found a job yet. Keep the attitude positive, whatever you do. All right, I'm going to wrap this one up. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and share, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.